Welcome to my final Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 episode review video, as this is the Season 2 finale, and I was able to watch the episode early on the YouTube AMC Plus channel. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead Dead City, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. If you're new to this channel or finding this channel out for the first time, welcome to the channel. I'm a massive fan of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, any iteration of The Walking Dead, you should really consider hitting that subscribe button to just stay up to date with anything Walking Dead related on this channel. And if you want to familiarize yourself with my Walking Dead fandom, with about 20 seconds left to go in this video in the end screen, I'll put different Walking Dead video links. I'll put my Walking Dead series finale titled Rest in Peace. I'll definitely put that up there for you. And then maybe some links to Walking Dead playlists. And then for those of you that are Dexter fans, in addition to Walking Dead fans, I'll put my link to my most recent Dexter Seasons Ranked video, because I am known for Dexter content. Keep in mind, Dexter Resurrection comes out on July 11th with 2 brand new episodes for those of you that like The Walking Dead and Dexter. So if you're a Walking Dead fan and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Walking Dead Dead City, the Season 2 finale. What would you rate the episode, and whom, if you had to choose, would be your character of the episode? I know Negan and Maggie are always the characters of the episode, really. But aside from them, is there somebody else that stands out? That's what I'm looking for there. And again, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals high. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. This will be The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 Episode 8. The title of this episode is called If History Were a Conflagration. And this will be my Season 2 finale review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start things off with Maggie, who's a bit immobilized. She has both her arms and both her legs essentially cuffed to the wall. And then we have Pearlie meeting with Bruegel, where Bruegel says, "I've got good news. Negan's willing to meet. We're going to get the kids together for a play date, and us moms are going to talk strategy. I better get the keys to the fucking city after this is all done." And then Pearlie asks about Ginny, where's the girl? Or about the girl. And then Bruegel says she's doing fine. And then Pearlie puts a knife to Bruegel. Where is she? And then Bruegel gets free by using his little watch knife that he has. He cuts Pearlie. And then thanks now to Pearlie, Bruegel knows that Ginny actually means something to Negan. And he calls Pearlie a softie. Benjamin Pierce tells Negan they're asking for him upstairs. And Negan tells him he doesn't have to stick around. But Benjamin Pierce says he's here with him all the way. Maggie gets the keys, and the Dama comes in. There's some keys to like something on a stand, and she's able to get those keys. But as she gets them, the Dama comes in and says she was hoping they'd be able to meet. You're everything I was expecting and more, I'm sure. And then Maggie asks for Herschel, and Dama says he's here on his own volition. Maggie says, aren't you supposed to be dead? And Dama says it was somebody else. She was already dead, and she burned her until she got nice and crispy. Bruegel brings Negan a housewarming gift to the meeting, which is a statue in the church. And then Negan says, so much work put into this big, beautiful feast that I'd hate to have it go to waste, as he wants Bruegel to have a meal. And, I'd feel like such a bad host, he says. And then Bruegel says, go ahead, eat, you eat. And then Negan mentions that you'd think I'd put something in the food. So Negan eats, and then Pearlie notices as he's standing in the church that there's liquid on all the benches. And then Negan and company flip back the big, feast table, and there's a bunch of walkers, and everybody kind of dropped their weapons off when they came in. And then the walkers go after Bruegel and his people, and they also set fire to the benches. And Bruegel's like, no, 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 get back. Everyone back. And then we have the Dama admitting to using Herschel, against Maggie. The old world was rigged, designed to break us and rip us apart. And then the Dama wants Maggie to go after Negan. Dama mentions that the people that Maggie lost, her mother, father, and sister, how could you be here for your son when you couldn't be there for yourself? She tells Maggie, you can only stop him, you can kill him, set yourself free. Bruegel's people are getting eaten by walkers while Negan smiles while he's eating an apple. And then Bruegel yells statue, and then Pearlie tips over the statue that Bruegel was giving to Negan as a gift, and there's like swords in this statue. So now Negan's getting a bit worried because they're starting to kill all the walkers. He tells his people to go. They go and get flamethrowers, and Negan gets Lucille. Bruegel tries to get Negan, but he's just kind of running off. And then we have Herschel visiting Maggie. He didn't know that Dama hit Maggie in the head like that. He's sorry. She tells Herschel that he was right. I'm not over it. I never have been over it. I think about him all the time. I think about what he did, and I know that I have to let it go. I know that it's the only way, but no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to do it. I'm sorry. And Herschel says he knows she tried. I want us to move on and be free, but there's only one way, and then we can just be done with it. So Herschel, because of this, actually lets Maggie free, and then Maggie says, I'll finish it and I'll come back for you. And then Dama's kind of standing right next to Herschel as like his new mother figure, essentially. And then on top of the roof, Benjamin Pierce is talking to, I don't know if this person had a name or was named before, but the person calls him a pussy because he doesn't want to be, in the church while shit goes down. And then someone shows up, a part of like New Babylon, I think maybe it was one of Negan's guys, shoots the woman that Benjamin Pierce was talking to. And then Benjamin Pierce is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he's like, who are you with? And then Benjamin Pierce says, New Babylon. And then we have Negan catching up with Bruegel, and Bruegel's like, it's all him, pointing at Pearlie. And then Negan tells Bruegel, on your knees. And then Negan also tells Pearlie to get on his knees as well. And then, oh shit, eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. He lands on Pearlie, but then Negan's like, fuck, you're the one I really want, so I'm just going to kill you. He's planning on killing both of them, though. And then Pearlie mentions the methane. And then Negan's like, the methane is all you talk about. You really want the methane that bad? Take it. So he puts like the methane cord thing in his mouth. And then like Bruegel's mouth is like lighting up. And then obviously this ends up killing Bruegel. And Bruegel, I believe, is already dead. And Negan actually hits Bruegel's head with Lucille. And Maggie's kind of hiding around the corner, seeing this go down. And that really bothers her. And then while this is going on, Pearlie is able to run away. And then Negan says, I got this, and goes after Pearlie. And then while that's happening, Negan kills Negan's, was it 2 or 3 people that were with him. And then Negan is going to Lucille Pearlie. He tells Pearlie, he was just protecting the girl. And Negan says, maybe, but I'm so sick of maybes. And then Maggie runs up and stabs Negan in the back with a knife. Negan stumbles away, and he actually drops Lucille during stumbling. And then Maggie picks Lucille up. So Maggie's like following Negan. He's like crawling around, and she's about to get Negan with Lucille. And then we see Ginny's arm come out of the cell, and she's turned into a walker. And then Maggie kind of stops and like doesn't hit Negan with Lucille. And Negan's like, Ginny, no. No. And then Negan's like crying, no. As Pearlie has met back up with, Maggie and Negan, of course. And then like Maggie's like pulled out her knife, and Negan's like, no. And then Maggie hands Negan her knife, and then Negan kills, Walker, Ginny. And then we have Maggie, Pearl, and Negan go back to where the Dama had Maggie, cuffed to the wall, each portion, both her arms and both her legs. And Pearlie pulls the knife out of Negan's back and then kind of treats the wound. And then Negan says he was so busy looking out for her, thinking he was looking out for her, I missed it. I just missed it. And now she died. She died alone. And then Maggie says there's something that she's got to do. I have to go. Maggie goes to see Herschel. Herschel says, you promised. You promised me. You didn't mean it. It's the same like it always is. Maggie says, and killing Negan would only make it worse. And that's not how we're going to do it. And then Herschel yells, don't, before she's able to finish what she was saying. And then Maggie says, I know you want to run off and be somebody different. And she tells Herschel, just know that I'll always be here for you, and I won't leave the city. And then we see out of the window Maggie, Pearlie, and Negan are out the same place again where Maggie was cuffed to the wall. We see the new Babylon second wave has arrived. And then Pearlie mentioned something about going left as he looks at whatever Roxana gave him, that little stone or pebble or whatever the hell it is. I still haven't figured out what it is. And then we see New Babylon and Benjamin Pierce kind of search the church. And then we have a montage of like Negan and Maggie moments from The Walking Dead Dead City with voiceovers from Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen. And then like the end is both of them saying we move on together and we get there. And that's what ends this episode and this season of The Walking Dead Dead City. So the season, in my opinion, wasn't as good as the first season. I just feel like there was more slower parts and it kind of dragged at moments. It had a few good episodes, I will say that. But all in all, it's not a huge disappointment. I just feel like a little bit let down. And that's just my opinion, though. So I'm going to score the episode an 8.8 out of 10. This was a good episode, although it kind of moved a little slow at times. But it had some really good dialogue. And my character of the episode, I mean, obviously, Negan and Maggie, they're the best all the time. But secondary character, I would say either Herschel or Pearlie. I put Pearlie. I wouldn't be against you saying Herschel, though. And, of course, special recognition to Ginny, who didn't have any speaking lines other than some groans as she turned into a walker. And I'm going to miss Ginny. I kind of like Ginny. It's unfortunate they always kill characters off that you like. So I'm kind of shocked that... And also, you know, rest in peace to the character of Bruegel, who... I don't know, I felt like he was going to last for at least another season. We didn't see any of the Croat in this episode, so he, I guess, is just going to go off for a while, and eventually, when they want to use him again, he'll show back up. I don't know what his role will be in the show, or maybe he will never show up again. They just want to kill that character. Because I started to like the Croat. Like, this season really turned me on to the Croat. So that's enough rambling. You've already heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, any iteration of The Walking Dead, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, especially if you like Dexter stuff as well. Make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on my thoughts on The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 finale. What would you rate the episode, and who, of course, would be your character or characters of the episode other than Negan and Maggie? Remember to see my links that I have here, like my Walking Dead series finale for the Season 11 finale titled Rest in Peace right here. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals high. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.